This is Nicole Whitlock with Ecom Seller Summit. And this morning, I am so excited to be able to share with you, or today, I'm excited to share with you all of the amazing opportunities that there are in private labeling. And who better to talk to us about private label opportunities, and what you can do in your business to take it to the next level, especially in 2021, because we're all going to have to continue to pivot in 2021. So why not consider creating your own private label product, reducing your competition? And Amy is here to talk to us about it. So Miss Amy, thank you for taking the time to share with us a little bit about private label today.
Cool. Well, thanks for having me. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I'm so glad to be here. I'm excited to share with you about private label today. I've been doing private label since 2017, which isn't that long, but I've been selling in e-commerce since 2007. And I've done everything. I've done retail arbitrage, I've done wholesale, I've done all the things. And more importantly, I've helped many other people besides my own private labels. I'm an inventor, but besides my own private labels, I've helped hundreds of others launch their own private labels. So what I'm hoping to share with you today is the considerations for private label. If you're considering private label, there are some important things that you need to consider. If you already have a private label, there are some things that perhaps you can improve. So I'm going to present to you guys today the 4 fundamental pillars of private label. And, our program covers all 4 of these pillars. And whether or not you choose my program or some other program, I'm hoping that this value that I'm giving you today in these considerations will help you in your private label journey.
Absolutely. I'm excited because I think, with all that has been happening this year, the opportunity to create something or to leave a legacy or just to develop a product that people will buy or are interested in buying, the opportunities are so big right now.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many opportunities online, period, to make money all day, like Nicole talks about, all day long. I love that. But, the thing is, what's so great about private label is you're building something for a larger payoff later. Right? Yeah. We can all make quick money flipping and it's good money sometimes, right? Flipping products in doing retail. When I see some of your posts, I'm like, oh man, I really want to just chase that squirrel and do some retail arbitrage. So I get it, but the thing is, if you got hit by a bus tomorrow, if something happened, would that business be worth something? Are you going to be able to take that investment and 10x it one day? And that's the beauty of private label. In the beginning, it takes more of an upfront investment. It's not as quick of a flip. It's more like when you're doing retail arbitrage and stuff, you see more of that quick money. Like, oh man, I bought that for $5 today. Yeah. I didn't have to import it. I didn't have to do anything. I sent it in. I sold it for $20. I made a quick $10. Now let me go see if I can find 10 more of those, right? When you're doing private label, you're setting up that foundation, but you're really building something. Once you set up that foundation, you can reorder. You're building up a customer list. And before you know it, you have a brand. And that is something that you can sell one day and you can make one of those beautiful exits from. I'm working on that for my private label brands. 2 of my brands I'd like to sell in the next 2 years. So I'm working on that. I just, got into a big box retailer. I'm selling in a few other online channels, but it's just a beautiful thing to think, wow, I've put in a lot of work to this and I've really built a cool few brands. And, I think it'll make a nice business for someone. So anyway, I guess I'll get going. So people are like, get to the point, Amy, get moving.
No, I love it because I think that the possibilities, like I said, this is the year I feel like if you were going to create something and evolve, this was the year to do it. This year definitely forced everyone to grow in some manner or stretch in some manner. This year had obstacle after obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. So evolution was required in 2021. That I think that's really what this should be, the year of evolution, because it was required.
Yeah.
You be the same person on January 1st and end up being the same person in December because you literally went through all levels of stress and changes. So that's what it should be remembered as. So go ahead. Let's take a look at that.
All right. So I will share my screen here. I'm hoping I have should be the slideshow here. Can you see that? Is it a full slide?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Sometimes the presenter view shows up and you see 2 slides, so I just wanted to make sure. And on StreamYard, it's always weird because you can't see yourself. So
I know.
I can't see myself. I can only see you beautiful people. So in my slides. So all right, let's get moving. So I want to talk to you guys about these fundamentals, about what might be missing from your private label strategy. I have been coaching private label entrepreneurs since 2018, right? Late 2017, early 2018. And it is, people have gone through tons of courses and they come to me and they go, they either went through a course, they found a product and it's not selling, or they aren't sure how to import their product, they aren't sure how to find a manufacturer, or they have an idea and they're not really sure how to develop it. So I have based my program off of these 4 pillars because it is the full path from concept of your idea all the way through launch. A lot of programs also don't actually cover launch. So we're going to talk about these 4 pillars today and the fundamentals so that you can master profitability and scalability. So this is me. This is one of my products here. I invented this product. It is a litter box cleaner, believe it or not. And I had this idea and I had, a problem cleaning my cat's litter box. I hated it. Who doesn't hate that? It's disgusting. So I invented a better solution. And the journey to bringing a from scratch product to market was arduous. I didn't know how to get help developing. I didn't know how to make my idea happen. And I think a lot of people have ideas for products, but they just don't know how to make it happen. And so when I figured it out, I was determined. I was on a mission to help as many other people with cool ideas bring their ideas to market. And I'm proud to say that I have helped so many people now. And I'm just barely scratching the surface of the amount of people out there that I know that if they can just have this path defined for them, they can bring some really cool, the next Nike is still out there. The next Coca-Cola is still out there, so it's just really, really cool. I have a podcast called the Amazon Seller Roundtable with my partner, Andy Arnott. My consulting firm, Amazing at Home. I previously had a China trip and course program called the Can't Unfair Experience. I have a weight loss non-for-profit called Portionista. I lost 100 pounds and I've kept it off for a couple of years. So I like to share that journey as well and help people. And then I have a company called Digital Fire. We do some training digitally, as well as I'm a co-founder of RebateJet, which is a rebate platform for Amazon sellers. So impact, I've had a lot of impact, and I'm absolutely in awe that people have had the incredible results from our programs, and that showed recently in the worldwide seller poll. We were voted #2 Facebook group, #3 Amazon course. I mean, even over courses like Amazing Selling Machine. And, it was just an incredible, I was like, who are these people voting for me? I have no idea. But I was voted #3 Amazon consultant. #4 was my podcast, and I was voted #5 contributor. But just really, we've had such a major impact. And again, we barely scratched the surface, and we're on a mission to help as many people as possible just master private label and get their products out there. So let's start talking about the first pillar, which is the toughest pillar for private label sellers, right? It's the how in the heck, what product do I pick? I know the product choice is so important, but how do I pick the right product? And we see, if we Google it, right? If we look on YouTube, and I'm not picking on any of these people that I have screenshots on. I don't even know who this guy in the bottom corner is. I know Jungle Scout, of course. I'm not picking on Jungle Scout. I'm not picking on any of these people. But what I'm trying to say is this is what is happening, right? You're receiving these lists. There's 3,000 new sellers on Amazon every day. And you're receiving these lists of hot products or you're using product research software and you're filtering for demand, but low competition. But all the rest of those people are doing the same thing. All the rest of those people that see this as a business opportunity are using the same methods to find products. And then what's happening is they're all going through the same, most of the courses are like the same thing, right? So okay, I'm just going to read bad reviews. Well, nobody's searching for, toiletry bag with not a broken zipper, or with a better zipper. Nobody's searching for that. We have to know what customers are searching for. And we can't know what customers really want for their market that isn't already there, right? If we don't learn how to do this a different way. And that's why we teach a completely different way to do this. We teach how to do market research. So instead of starting with products and not knowing who's buying those products or why they're buying them, we teach you to study the customers and what they're buying and why they're buying it so that you can recognize opportunities that aren't there. And we help you then develop those products and get them to market. So these big mistakes that people are making are huge. I mean, I have a free listing review service because I'm also a copywriter. That's how I got my start in consulting. I was able to turn around tons of listings that weren't selling. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about listing optimization, but these are just a few snippets from forms that people have filled out on my website. And Nicole, I have to tell you, it's overwhelming because I sorted my forms by no sales and by the words, no sales. And I could have filled up 3 slides like this.
Wow.
That's
a lot. And I'm excited for you. I think you're amazing. I've seen you in action. I've participated in several of your training sessions. The content she shares, it's just amazing.
But these are all people with no sales.
Right.
They're all people that come to me and say, Amy, I launched a product. I have no sales. I'm paying too much in PPC. I got to page 1, but I can't. I'm still not able to maintain sustainable sales. I can't get enough reviews. They're all competing on price and reviews, and they're losing the battle, and they don't have enough margin to make it. So sadly, most of the people I talk to aren't making any money. And it's so important to learn these fundamentals from the beginning so that you can launch with confidence. So the bottom line is, you've seen all these stories. How can we avoid these stories, right? The first thing that we need to do is we need to focus on profit. These revenue screenshots over here are really, really impressive, right? Really, really impressive. You're $1 million in sales, but what are you putting in your pocket? And are you making any money? It's really, really tough. So our program starts with understanding your numbers. Because if you don't understand your numbers and how to calculate those numbers and the cost of your advertising and what numbers you should be aiming for when you source a product, it starts you off on the wrong foot. So we start with profit goals, and then we teach you how to run your numbers and how to estimate and forecast your numbers and how to know whether or not a product is worth moving forward with. So product research considerations. Here are some 4 considerations I want you to think about. Whether you go with my program or whether you're out there on your own, I want you to think about these things, and we're going to go through them together. But number 1, what can we sell it for? We can't hope we can sell something for $20 over the market price, right? We have to make sure that we can be competitive. We need to make it easy for the customer to choose us. Second, can we control the price? So if your product is not that different, if you just have a better zipper, you're not going to be able to control the price. You're going to have to keep dropping your price, competing with other products that look just like yours. What is the cost to manufacture that product? So many people pay way too much because they don't know how to talk to manufacturers or find manufacturers. So they pay way too much, and then they go back to this, what can I sell it for? And it's a vicious cycle because they're like, okay, wait, I paid $10 for it. I'm not going to make any money. Oh no, I need to sell it for $60. Oh no, everybody else is selling it for 30 or less. I'm going to lose money. I'm not making any sales. And these are the vicious cycles that people go through. So it's really important to understand manufacturing and understand sourcing. That's why those are two of my pillars, right? And then we want to have a 7x minimum multiplier. What does that mean? Most Amazon private label courses tell you to have a 3x. 3x meaning if you source it for $5, you need to be able to sell it for $15. Unfortunately, after advertising on competitive products, you will be losing money all day long. And so we aim for the standard in retail, which is 7x minimum. On Amazon, I like a 10x. And I'm going to show you some of my products that I started at a 5x and I moved to a 14x. And show you what those numbers look like in terms of profitability and scalability. All right, can you control the price? So we got 4 toiletry bags here, right? I'm not picking on the toiletry bag people, but let's look at what the market is saying, okay? We've got these 3 that mostly look the same, right? They have the same kind of pockets. Like this one has 2 zippers. This one's like a different kind of leather. This one is like looks like a suede kind of material. It's got 1 zipper instead of 2. Maybe there's pockets on the inside. I don't know. But what is the market saying? The market, this one is ranked 11,000 in beauty and personal care. It's $12.97. Okay, that's a really good rank in a category with over 1 million products, right? This one at $34.99. is ranked 119,000. They're not selling as well, are they? They're maybe selling 1 every couple of days. This one at $69.99, the high-end toiletry bag, probably not a good fit for Amazon because 411,000, they're not making a lot of sales. So what is the market saying? Then we have this one over here. It looks different than all the rest, right? $26, so twice as expensive as this guy right here, right? But they have a differentiation. They got all these pockets. They got side pockets. You can hang this thing up, and they're 61,000. So they have a pretty good rank, especially, you know, at a time when travel is not, not really people's priority, right? But they can control their price. They don't have to drop their price to compete with this guy because they have something different. So they've been able to kind of corner that side of the market for the people that want a few more pockets in their toiletry bag and want to be able to hang their toiletry bag up, right? They can control their price. They don't have to lose the price war. But these guys are struggling to make sales. And so maybe a lot of people make the mistake of, well, they find this guy on product research software and they go, Amy, this guy's making so much money every month. Oh my gosh, I'm going to differentiate mine and make it a little bit more high end. And I'm going to sell mine for a little bit more and I'm going to make a lot of money, right? But look, the person who differentiated and sold theirs for a little bit more, they're not making much here. They're not selling very well. The person who really went high end is not selling well at all. And I can tell you, a lot of people, I've talked to many people who have developed products like this or differentiated these high-end products, and they paid way too much for them. So they don't even have room in their margins to lower their price. So now they can't even get those sales. Now, if this guy here could sell for at least $34.99, right? He might capture some of these sales because it does look like a nicer leather, and maybe that's a look. That makes it very easy for the customer to choose. But the market is telling us what they want. They're telling us they want a good price and something that looks decent. And they're buying this one and they're buying this one, these two, right? So you always need to think before you just go on research software and see someone else's revenue. You need to think about the product that you're bringing to market and whether or not it's different enough where you are going to be able to own that differentiation and control the price. So understanding the numbers, right? This is the biggest problem. This is the first thing I do on consulting calls with people. I run their numbers and I help them understand where they're at. So this is one of my products at a 5X multiplier. It cost me $6 to make, cost me $1.50 to ship from China. My Amazon fees, this is merchant fulfilled, but it would be about the same if it was FBA, right? $5 for Amazon fee, referral fees, and $10 on average to ship to the customer. So my total costs are $23. My revenue, I sell that product for $38.87. My total profit is $15. Now I'm going to give you guys a tip. When you run these numbers, this is before advertising. When you run these numbers, if you don't have enough down here left over to buy even one more unit with shipping, you're in trouble. If your profit that's left over here is lower than it cost you to buy one more unit, I'm going to repeat myself, you're in trouble. Because now you don't have money to set aside using that profit first money model for new inventory. You have to now dig back into your pocket. Initially, when you bought those products, you had to dig into your pocket and you sold them and you went ahead and you paid yourself back during that sale. But now you need to buy more units. And if you have to buy more units, if every time you have to buy more units, you have to dig back into your pocket instead of using your profits, that's a problem. So that's a metric that you can use. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in terms of multipliers. So then we have to think about other costs, right? So this was 30 days of advertising sales or advertising spend. I had 90 units of this product sold in 30 days, right? So 90 units at $15.54 profit per unit put me at $1,300, right? Then I got to subtract my cost of advertising. So I had only 5 of my 90 orders came from advertising. That's what happens when you differentiate yourself. You sell a lot organically because as long as you have good placement on the page, it makes the customer very easy to choose you without having to fight for ads at the top of the page. So I spent $95 on advertising. And I have to subtract that advertising spend. So that puts me at $1,300, right? Then I have to subtract the cost to buy replacement units, right? Because I need 90 more units. And those are $7.50 each, right? Cost to make it plus the cost to ship it. That's $675 I'm going to subtract from this number. That leaves me at $628.27. Now I need to subtract my monthly operating expenses. Now I've been very, very slim on these expenses. I'm calling it only $200 a month, but that means you got to subtract $40 a month Amazon fees. Maybe you have a Shopify store that's at least another $40 a month. Maybe you're paying for Helium 10 or some other software. Like I said, I'm not knocking software. I use software too, but you're paying those monthly expenses. And so now that takes my balance down to $428. Let's just say it's $200 a month. And I divide that by 32 hours. I spent 32 hours. I have a 4-hour work week, right? Maybe or less. I spent 32 hours this month working on this product. And I could pay myself with this one product $13 an hour. Not too bad. But McDonald's is hiring and they say that they pay their managers $15 an hour. I think I could get that job. And maybe I'm going to hang up this private label thing, right? So anyway, but advertising costs matter. And this is what most programs do not teach. My cost per click was only 39 cents. And I got 244 clicks over the month. Most people's advertising costs on competitive products are $1 or more. So if you took these same numbers at a 5X multiplier, and many of you are at a 3X, and you took 244 clicks times 2 campaigns times $1 per click, that would be $488 in advertising spend. That would take your balance down to $910, and then you subtract those inventory costs. Now you got $235. You subtract your overhead expenses, and you're left with $1 per hour. This is where most people are at. In fact, most people are losing money with one product, right? I know we all have the dream, right, of launching that $1 million revenue screenshot product. But if you only have a 3X multiplier, you're going to end up in over your head with no money to compete. So advertising costs matter and your multiplier matters. So I improved mine. I took it from a 5X to a 14.5X. And what I did is I went and found a supplier in China, a factory, because I was working with a trading company. I reduced my cost to make it to $1.68. I also figured out shipping and how to reduce my cost of shipping to $1 per unit instead of $1.50. Now my total costs for that same product are $18.51. My total profit before advertising is $20. I can buy 10 more units. Do you see how fast I can flip that profit and flip that inventory? It is a wonderful, look at that. I gave myself a little bit of a pay raise for one product. I can pay myself $40 an hour. Pretty nice, right? So it really, really matters. And for those of you who are going, Amy, my supplier, they won't reduce the cost. Well, we're going to talk about that, okay? All right, so we already talked about why you should aim for a 7X multiplier. It's the standard, it's the gold standard, but on Amazon, like I said, I love a 10X because it's actually more expensive than selling in retail because you're paying for advertising, because you're paying for a lot of overhead expenses, and you're paying for shipping. So here's my 5X multiplier. I already showed you guys this, right? And this in the green box is what it would be if me selling it to retail instead of selling it on Amazon, right? So a little bit of a difference, but it doesn't matter. The bottom line is this was my 5X. Here's my 14.5X multiplier. You guys saw how scalable this is. So here's what's happening. That toiletry bag for men, look at the cost per click, $1.45. If I ran those same numbers and had to pay for those 244 clicks over 2 campaigns, many people have way more than 2 campaigns, by the way, that would be $707 in advertising spend. If I had to subtract the cost to buy new inventory minus my operating expenses, Nicole, look where I'm at. I'm in the negative. And this is what I'm seeing. Either people are barely making enough money and they don't have something that's really scalable, or they are literally losing money with every sale. I have my accountant referring clients to me all the time because she runs their numbers and she's like, there's no way you can make any money here. She's like, you need to get with Amy. We need to fix your margins because this is not a scalable or sustainable business. So this is what is happening in private label, and it's rampant, you guys. It is rampant. And like I said, it's important for me to get the message out there that there is a better way. All right, so this is our product research process. We start you off understanding the different business models, like understanding the difference between commodities, white label, private label, unique products. We help you understand the numbers. We help you maximize your margins for scalability. Then we take you through how to come up with product ideas, how to discover various niches, how to do market research, and how to actually prioritize your ideas. Because you probably have like a whole list of ideas now, and you don't know which ones are good. So we run you through 13 different criteria for picking winners. And we give you a spreadsheet to do that with, but we also give you all of these templates. Every class has a template, a worksheet. I was an instructor in the military for 18 years. I have the ability of taking really tough concepts and breaking them down in a really easy to understand way. So you get worksheets with everything I teach. You get templates, you get ways to apply your knowledge. And yesterday I got a message from somebody who just joined my program, and she was like, Amy, she already picked a product, and she had a coaching call with me, and we went over a product, and I just, the writing was on the wall, and I said, okay, we need to differentiate a little bit more. We're going to lose, in a price war here, or be very easily copied. And she joined my program, and she watched the first couple of videos, and she was like, oh my gosh, my mind is blown, and that's the reaction that we get all the time, because it's just different. This is not another Amazon course. This is a private label, start a brand course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree. The content that you share and getting people on the right track and doing the right level of research and just making sure that you're going to have a sustainable product, like that is your gift and your talent.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And so we go through validation as well, like ensuring that your product will sell. Because again, my goal is launch with confidence. I want you knowing, yes, this product is going to sell. I know it's going to sell. I've studied the market. I know customers are going to love it. I know that my differentiation matters to the customer. I know my numbers work. I know I'm going to be profitable. I know how much the advertising is going to cost me. You're learning all of that. And these are things that just aren't covered. I've been through ASM. I've been through the early viral launch course. I've been through those courses. They do not cover this stuff. And that's why, my course isn't based off somebody else's stuff. It's based off working with hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs and helping them build something from scratch, right? So product development, this is the second pillar, right? The first pillar was research. We covered that. The second pillar is product development. Why product development? Because if you want to differentiate a product, so you study the market and you're like, all right, Amy, I know that the customer actually wants some more pockets here and they want to be able to hang this. And, I know that, they're DIYing this, or I'm seeing this over here and I'm seeing blog posts written about this. I want to differentiate this bag. Well, how do you actually develop that product? How do you find a manufacturer who's going to put all these pockets in here the right way? How do you, find the material? What material are you supposed to use? How do you know what you can source it for, the cost? How do you know what you can sell it for? Like, product development is so, so important. If you don't know how to develop your idea, you're just going to pick a commodity copycat product. You're going to pay too much for it, and you're going to end up in this race to the bottom. If you think of your favorite brands, they've all developed products that really meet your needs. That just, this brand really understands me. That's what we want. Those are the brands that we want to build. And one of my biggest things, Launch with Confidence, one of the biggest things that I encourage people to do is don't be afraid. Like, so many people go, well, Amy, I would love to do that, but can I really compete with this brand that developed this product? They're kind of a big brand. Yes. Why can't you compete with them? Why can't you be the next big brand? You absolutely can do it. You just need the path to get there. And so that's why we really focus on developing, differentiating, and protecting our products. So this is what is basically taught elsewhere. It's like, okay, find your product in product research software. And again, I'm not picking on Jungle Scout. I'm not picking on Helium 10. I use these in my research. So after I do the market research and I find a really awesome opportunity, of course I look at my competition. Of course I look at their sales numbers. So I love the fact that this product research software exists. I just don't use it to find new products because they're not there. Bringing a new differentiated product to market is none of those products that you're going to find in our process are going to be on this product research software. You're going to be first to market with something that customers want. Now, you're going to, like I said, it's not necessarily like you have to invent something. You can just differentiate the toiletry bag, for example, but you have to differentiate in a way that matters. You can't just look at bad reviews. You have to know, what do the people buying toiletry bags want? And you're going to figure that out by doing market research. So anyway, the problem is we skip all the steps in between here in other courses, right? We're just looking for this product and then we go on Alibaba and we pay this price on Alibaba. And the price on Alibaba is never the price. It's never the price because you need to talk to your manufacturer. You need to vet, first of all, that supplier is who they say they are. I always tell this story, but one of my guys in China, he has a friend who sits in his apartment. He's a 10-year gold supplier. You see, this is filtered by gold supplier, right? He's a 10-year gold supplier factory on Alibaba. And he's really just a guy in his apartment, a single guy sourcing phone accessories from various factories. It's the World Wide Web, you guys. It's no man's land. It's, you can really do anything. And so the factories are not listing here for the most part. Some of them are, you can definitely find a factory on Alibaba. I'm not saying that, but you need to know how to actually vet your suppliers. And most importantly, how to talk to them. Right. And so many people go with a sourcing agent or you don't need any of that. We show you how to work with sourcing agents, but we also show you how to do it by yourself. You don't need that. We also show you how to negotiate, how to communicate your differentiation, how to develop products. So it's so important. And then the most important thing down here is, how do you prevent your supplier from competing against you? So many of you have launched products, and then you get that product on Amazon, and all of a sudden a third of the price gets that product, basically the same thing, gets listed on Amazon, and you're like, what? How am I supposed to compete with that, right? Like the $12 toiletry bag. How am I supposed to compete with that? Well, if you have a differentiation, you can protect it. And we show you, we give you all of our resources. We have lawyers in China, everything like that, right? You don't have to source from China. So some of my products are made right by Nicole there in Dallas, Texas. But the point is, you need to understand manufacturing. You need to understand how to have a conversation with the supplier, and you need to understand product development, because it's going to make all the difference in your private label strategy. So we teach product development. We teach you how to prototype. We teach you what the product development process looks like. We introduce you to 3D designers. We teach you about manufacturing and how to have those conversations, how to speak the language, how to find the right supplier, how to vet your suppliers, how to launch. We cover launch here early in the process so that you understand what's coming later, right? You understand, you can kind of look and see, okay, I need to do these things now so that I get that launch right. And we talk about intellectual property, right? Because you're going to want to protect that. And we give you resources for that, really affordable resources. Like a lot of people say, oh, don't patent something. Don't do that, because that's going to cost you $100,000. I actually saw somebody say that in Damon John's training. And that's not the case. I have utility patents, worldwide patents, and I paid less than $3,000 for those patents. So tell me why it's impossible and why it's going to cost you $100,000. It's just not the case. So, and then understanding how to protect your supply chain. How do you talk to a factory without giving them your idea in the beginning? How do you do all of that, right? And then, of course, templates along the way. So then we get into sourcing. This is the third pillar. We're almost there, you guys. We're almost there. I hope you're learning a lot here. We're into sourcing, and like I showed you, the difference. When I found a factory instead of a trading company, look at the difference in my multiplier, right? But I needed to understand how to find a factory. I needed to understand how to talk to a factory. I needed to understand how to have confidence in my business so that they would see me as a good partner, and I knew what made them a good partner. So it's so important. And this is only one of my color variations of multiple variations that I have of this product. It's really incredible scaled. You can make a living with a small brand. You don't have to have 800 SKUs on Amazon to make a living. So just know that you can build a small brand. If you just want to have, 3 to 10, I'm at, I think 14 SKUs now, but I make a decent living. I've replaced my income from my 6-figure job in private label alone. So that is really, really awesome. It is totally possible to do with a small brand. It's about learning these fundamentals. All right. Remember, lower cost equals increased profit. I wouldn't be mad at this guy here if he could sell this product for $30 and really compete, right? Because then people go, oh, that's really high-end leather. That's really nice. I don't mind paying a little bit more for this one. He makes it the easy choice, but he's stuck selling it for $70 because he paid way too much and he didn't study the market ahead of time. So we really need to make sure we don't get stuck in this endless loop where I can't make sales because I can't lower my price and I'm not competitive and my differentiation doesn't matter enough to the customer. There's no amount of influencers that are going to push a toiletry bag to make it possible to sell it for $69 when that customers are smart. They shop around. They're going to look and see, oh, this one is really nice and it's only $12, or this one's really nice and it's only $30, right? And it's different if there's Louis Vuitton on this bag or something. That's a different thing. But if we're a brand new brand and nobody knows us yet, It's really hard to compete when we're not at a market price, right? So sourcing mistakes that are made, right? Everybody just goes to Alibaba or 1688, and there's nothing wrong with those websites, right? But learning how to vet the suppliers that you find on these websites is so, so, so important. So we teach you how to do that. We teach you what questions you should ask them. We teach you how you negotiate and get the best price, a price that they feel good giving you, because we help you understand how to be a good partner for them and how they can be a good partner for you. And it's just a game changer. You're not just walking into a booth and going, how much does this cost? You're walking in and talking to a manufacturer, talking about the manufacturing process, talking to them about differentiation options and product development. And suddenly they go, ooh, I want to work with this person. How do you not compete with other sellers driving the prices up? So when I was at Canton Fair, and we go, when it's not the pandemic, we go twice a year. We have a China trip. We take other entrepreneurs with us so that we can teach them these things, right? But what happens is all these Amazon sellers going to Alibaba, if I'm sourcing this towel, right, this little baby towel here, and I'm just paying the price on Alibaba, do you think you going to this manufacturer and saying, oh, I need a 10x multiplier, not that you would say that anyway, but if you go to this manufacturer and you tell them, I need 50 cents per towel, are they going to give you 50 cents when they're already making bank off these thousands of sellers who are going straight to Alibaba and just making orders at the list price? No. And they're not going to take you seriously, right? It's definitely, we've got to do better. It's very possible to do it, but we have to do better. All right. So we teach sourcing differently. We teach you how to design your packaging. We teach you how to actually make a sourcing list, evaluate your suppliers, visit your factories, even virtually. We had a virtual factory visit class, how to negotiate and communicate with suppliers. We give you supplier discussion worksheets, all the questions to ask, how to use a sourcing agent or a third party, what your considerations are, what you should look out for. We introduce you to trusted sourcing agents and stuff like that. But again, we teach you how to do it without a sourcing agent as well. There's different situations where you might want to use one, where you might not. We help you understand that. We teach you how to design your packaging. That's a big thing. Like, people source these products and they go, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to put on my packaging? And they're getting shut down by Amazon because Amazon's now going, hey, if you're not a registered brand, you have to send pictures of your packaging, and their packaging doesn't have the necessary requirements on it. So we teach you how to design packaging that not only is great in e-commerce, but is also great in retail, so that you can make those expansions into other channels. We teach you about quality control. So many people source products without inspections or anything like that, and then they end up just, getting all these returns. Their listing gets shut down. Well, we can nip that in the bud before you even ship those products out. A lot of programs recommend you send the products to your house and inspect them yourself first. This is not good advice, you guys. Use an AQL inspection agency. They know everything to inspect for every product category, and they're going to give you a full report, and you have a way now to hold your supplier accountable. So we teach you what inspection companies should you use, what are the considerations for inspection, and then we talk to you about shipping and importing. What is your importing class? How many tariffs should you be paying? All of that kind of stuff. Like, and I don't teach all these things. I bring in experts, because experts that I trust, that I've worked with over the years. So, I teach some of them, of course, but I also bring in experts. And then, of course, you get all of our worksheets along the way. It's so, so, so important that you're able to apply what you learn. It's not just videos, right? We also teach business setup. This is something that so many courses skip. People come to me all the time. Should I do an LLC? How do I set up a website? Do I need a website? What should I have on my logo? Oh my gosh, I filed a trademark and now I can't use it. I got to start completely over. We need to learn these things from the start. So I already teach business classes at my local organization. And this is the thing, like, we really need to set up a firm foundation so that we can grow. It's your jumping off point. So we teach you how to create content. We teach you how to build your audience, how to do sales and funnels. How do you get featured in the media? How do you find your audience? Like, so many people don't know who their audience is. It's so effective when you know who your audience is and you feel comfortable engaging with them. It's going to make all the difference in the world. When you can drive traffic from off of Amazon, you're going to rank on Amazon like crazy. But we don't just teach you Amazon. We teach you how to build a brand that you can scale anywhere, right? That's the whole thing. If you want to increase your sales channels, you might want to do that, right? There's tons of different places that you can sell your products in. For example, this is a gold vase on Amazon. Look at the prices, right? I had a client the other day. She came to me with some home decor ideas and she was like, Amy, this is just, the numbers don't look great on Amazon, but her market research was incredible. And these products were awesome, easily differentiated and just beautiful and really trending, but just not on Amazon. Amazon's about 2 years behind in home decor. And why? Because most people buy their home decor products in America at Wayfair or in local home decor stores. And look at the prices of gold vases on Wayfair. Way higher, right? So it's so important to know your market, know your sales channels, and then know how to execute those. If your brand is only set up to sell on Amazon, you're stuck. Right? So many people we know like have had Nicole's help getting in Walmart with Mikal, and they don't have barcodes, they're not set up properly. Well, this is how you get set up properly. You learn how to set up your business from the beginning. All right. And then I think this is so important. We teach launch. We teach every step in launch, how to create an amazing optimized listing and photographs. We even have an A+ content workshop to show you how to do that. We teach how do you do your shipping, packaging, and labels. How do you do PPC? How do you do chatbots? How do you do external advertising? We had a whole month of content just on external ads, Pinterest, social media. That was really fun, Shopify. And then we go over actually the launch phases, how to launch on and off of Amazon. We talk about your daily operations. How many of you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing every day in your business? You're like, I don't know. Am I supposed to be checking my PPC every day? Am I supposed to be doing this? I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So we teach you, we even give you templates of how to hire VAs, how to, daily operations business checklists, and then how to scale your business when it comes time to reorder. How should you reorder? How much should you reorder? How does that work, right? So we give you all the tools necessary and the training to succeed. And then we also have bonus content and discounts. So we have 2 live sessions a week and these are Zoom calls. So you can join the Zoom call and ask your questions. We're very, very active. We have a private Facebook group as well as these weekly Zoom calls. And when you join our program, you get lifetime access to our mastermind group. And this is a tight-knit group of just people that are developing incredible products and are building brands and just scaling their businesses. And some of them are just getting started. Some of them are still looking for that first product, but they are finding some incredible products. I'm so super just in awe of them. And I'm so excited to be on this journey with them. But we also cover a lot of other aspects like outsourcing and mindset and productivity and time management and, all of those things. How do you succeed, right? And then our new content that we release every month is based on what the group feels that they need. If they're like, oh man, like this month we're planning for 2021, we're reviewing 2020, but we're also just having a month of catch up because everybody's like, Amy, this Q4 has been crazy and we just want a month of catch up. So I made all of our earlier replays available to them and they are just having a month of catch up. But anyway, that's what that looks like. So it's not just videos and you're on your own, right? It is, you're watching your videos, you're getting your templates, you're working through the training. If you have any questions at all, you ask them in our group, and then you can attend the live sessions and ask your questions as well. All right, so that is it. Yeah, I think I've poured enough here. Let's see. I'll stop sharing.
Okay, so let's start with the fact that, oh my gosh, when you talk about launching private label, I'm sorry, my son literally just started the dryer. So let me shut the door real quick. But when you talk about launching your private label product with confidence, like this is how you do it. This is how you literally establish a legacy. You get the right private label product, you get it, you do all the research you need to, you make sure your numbers work, you make sure you have great suppliers, you do everything you need to do to make sure that this product is going to be around for a long time. And Amy, I mean, the information that she puts in her private label course and what she does, her community, like they love her. First of all, they love her. I love her because she's amazing at what she does. She helps people to succeed. And that is her goal, her mission, her vision is to help as many people succeed in private label as possible. Because there are a lot of private label courses out there that are extremely expensive. They follow very similar models. And then, you read some of the reviews and feedback. We won't name any, but, you get some different results when you take a different approach. So I appreciate her approach. Her approach is, more project management style and, some military twist in there because, again, the military does a lot of research and analysis. So I like the methodical way in which you help people do what they need to do. So I think you guys should sign up for her course. I'm just telling you, if you're planning on doing private label, if you have a vision for a product, you should really consider signing up for a course. Now I'm going to tell you my sad story. I I want to say, I think it was 2014, maybe 2015. I had this vision. I had this dream. I promise it was from God. And so the vision came to me that I was supposed to create a product, but I didn't do it. And then the following year, I saw the product in a store. Probably
no, that's the worst.
about 16 to 18 months later, I remember walking into a Sam's Club and my mom was like, "What is wrong?" She was with me because sometimes I need support with my son. And I was just staring at this thing, which I knew what it was. It was my vision come to life. And I have no idea how much money they made on that product. And it's a product that's still made to this day. And I'm like, oh my God, my life could be so different had I taken the vision that was given to me. It was very detailed, extremely detailed.
Nicole.
Yeah, when God gives
but let me remind you that God's timing is perfect. And had you executed that product at that time, you may have made some of the mistakes that we all made, in this journey. And maybe now you have the opportunity to avoid those mistakes because you have access to my program. And now when you get that vision again, you're going to remember that regret that you had last time. And you're going to go, not only do I know that I can follow every step in being able to develop, manufacture, source, and launch this product with confidence.
Yeah.
But I can also make real money doing it instead of perhaps, the way that a lot of people end up, spending way too much money and not making that money. So, remember, you were seeing all their sales that they potentially had, but you weren't seeing their profits. So
no, I wasn't seeing their profits.
You never know, right? So
yeah,
God can totally do it again.
Perfect. Yeah, God's timing is perfect. That's absolutely true. Yeah, I was completely like, my mom was like, "What is wrong?" I froze. I literally froze. But anyway, so that's true. That's true. God's timing is perfect. So with that being said, for those of you that do have a private label vision, you have a product in mind, you have something you want to develop, create.
Or you've already launched. and you're wanting to fix a few things, because we have a lot of people in our program that have already launched products, and they're restarting and they're improving their margins, they're finding new suppliers, they're expanding. That's our vision, is to help new sellers. We're not trying to help the six-figure sellers. They got it figured out. They've scaled to that. We're helping you scale to six figures so that you can really nail, but you're going to scale very quickly to six figures. You're going to scale very quickly when you have those margins and you have the right products that are selling organically and don't rely only on PPC, right? It's going to take off, and it's going to be faster than you can keep up with. And you're going to be like me right now, out of stock for the third time on the same product. Anyway, I don't have everything figured out.
Well, here's the deal. That is a nice problem to have, because that means your products are moving. And that is something.
And at a 14x multiplier, I think it's.
There you go. That's something everybody needs to be paying attention to. If you didn't hear anything else, if you didn't hear anything else, at least hear that.
Yeah.
So we just want to encourage you guys to sign up, because it's never too late. I think 2020 has revealed to so many different people that this is the time to actually evolve in your business. If you've been a seller for a few years, take that leap, maybe step into something new. Maybe you've seen something because you've been doing maybe retail arbitrage, or you've been doing drop shipping, or you've been seeing, doing different things. You're like, you know what, when I created that bundle and those two things together, it sold so much faster and blah, blah, blah. So doing that analysis and figuring out if this is something that is right for you. And I think 2021 is going to be, those people that actually took heed to the lessons learned in 2020, because there were a lot of lessons dropped on everybody, making decisions about your finance. I think, a lot of people learned about excess in 2020, unfortunately. People learned about, there's no guarantees in your job. There's just so many things that we don't take your health for granted. There were so many lessons in 2020. And for those of us who took heed to that, okay, our 2021 is hopefully going to be that stepping stone to something better or greater in the future. And then we also lost, there's a lot of us are still mourning, different things happened in 2020. But this is what I just want to encourage you guys to do. If you have a vision for something, if God gave you a vision for a product, or if God, because I'm the regret person over here, but if God gave you a vision for a product, if there is something that you see in doing this e-commerce thing for a while, and you're like, oh, this would be so amazing. Or if you have never done e-commerce before, I want to encourage you to consider looking into private label, taking that leap, taking that step, and doing something different. Because again, we all are being forced to evolve. It's going to be whether or not you actually acted on it, or whether or not you stood still. And I understand there's a lot of fear and reservation, but I will tell you that Amy is a great person to hold your hand along the journey and just kind of nudge you and guide you and lead you and give you the support that you deserve and need. I think the support she gives is completely different than any other private label programs that I've seen out there.
Well, thanks for having me, Nicole. And as usual, I always enjoy hanging out with my sister from another mister. And I just thanks everybody for listening. And, you can always tag me in any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer your questions. I just wish everyone the absolute best in their businesses, the most success, the most confidence, most profit possible. And just, we're going to crush it in 2021.
We are going to crush it in 2021. And one last thing, congratulations on your awards. I cannot believe the number of awards this lady has won because of the fact that she gives amazing support. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. Who are these people voting for me? I have no idea. We don't do any massive marketing. We don't have this big old YouTube channel or anything like that. So it was just such a cool thing to see the level of impact that we've had with basically just word of mouth. It was just wow, you just see the tentacles just spreading. And so, and when I think that I haven't even marketed yet, in one day, how many people could I help with that level of impact? you know, I can't even, it's really cool. So I'm stoked about it.
Yeah, you got a calling on you for sure. And so, and